we are faced with a question here. So we are asked to find the square root of 13 plus 2 is 30. But this has to find the square root of 13 plus 2 is 30. So now, since we have a positive sign here, I would say let the square root let the square root let the square root be with x plus with y. Yes. So had it been we had a negative sign here, had it been this plus sign as a negative sign here, so it would have been the square root of x minus the square root of y. So, but in this case, we are dealing with just a positive sign instead. So we have equal to the square root of x plus the square root of y. Now, by the law of indices, to remove this whole square root sign, you must take the square on both sides. So, like this, we'll have square root of 13 plus 2 with 30 equals to the root of x plus the root of y. So let's take the square on both sides. So the square can cancel the square root, and we have 13 plus 2 with 30 equal to, now we have a perfect square here, so the whole of this all squared is a perfect square, and we know of an identity that says a plus b, yes, all squared. This is an identity in algebra. So now expanding this is just, we know of the identity, so it should be squaring the first term a. You square your first term a, then plus twice the product of a and b, so twice the product of a and b, that is 2 times a times b, and then lastly square this term here, the b term, you square it. So this is the well-known identity, so let's apply it here. So in this case, my a here means the root of x, and we're going to square it now, plus twice a and b. Now a and b here means with x and with y, so twice 2 times of with x and y, like this. And then lastly, we square our b term, which is going to be with y. So square with b term like this. So, and we are good to go. And then we have 13 plus 2 to the root of 30 equal to, now a square cancels a square root, we have x left. 2 times with x times with y should be 2 with x, y, and then plus the square must cancel the square root, and we have y. So let's rearrange our expression. On the right hand side, I have 13 plus 2 root x equal to, I have x plus y, and then plus 2 root x y. Now obviously, as you can see, so I have x plus y here, and I also have 2 with x y here. So like this we can compare, so you can see that 13, go for this, and let me change this color, and then 2 root x, go for this. So let's have it that way. And so continuing from where we stopped, by comparison, now we're gonna have that x plus y is equal to 13, and also that 2 times the root of xy is equals to 2 times root 30 times root 30. So I made a mistake somewhere. So this is supposed to be 30 here, not x. Okay, that's corrected now. The lemon color. So that was a mistake. I had x there instead of 30. So continuing from where we stopped, so by comparison, so we have this. Now this forms my first equation. This forms my first equation, and this my second equation. So let's say from equation 2, from the second equation, so we have 2 root xy equals to 2 root 30, and as you can see, 2 can cancel 2 on this side. Now they have the same exponent, that is the same root sign. This root with xy and root 30, so they have the same roots. So they are of the same roots, I can put what is inside as xy equal to 30. So this forms my let me call this my equation 4. Sorry, equation 3. Let me call this equation 3. So now I will have to go to equation 1. So from equation 1, we have that x plus y is equal to 13. So let's make x the subject of the formula. Now I'll have x equal to 13 minus y. So and this should form my equation 4. So since I have equation 4 here, now let's put equation 4 in 3. So I'll put the fourth equation into the third equation. And so from here, I've gotten my, I'll have to, since I have my x here, I have my x value here, and now replace x with 10 minus y in equation 3. I'll replace x with 13 minus y in equation 3. So my x becomes 13 minus y and I have my y here initially equal to 30. So an expansion, we have y times 13 should be 13y, y times minus y should be minus y squared, and then equals to 30. So this equation is having the form of a quadratic equation. So I want to make my y square to be positive. So let's make y square positive by moving every term to the right. Or by multiplying by minus 1, but to avoid confusion, so let's move all to the right, and nothing will remain on the left hand side. I will have 0 there, y other terms go to the right to make 30. So 13y comes over and become minus 13y, minus y squared comes over and becomes plus y squared. Yes, which you can still rewrite. That is, it can be written as y squared minus 13y and then plus 30 equal to 0. So at this point, I wouldn't want to show us how to factorize. This is a quadratic equation. So at this point, you should know what to do at this point. So I'll be fast enough here. And factorizing this, we have that y minus 3. At this point, you should know how to factorize quadratic equations. Equals to 0, of which this answer gives us y equals to 3. That is the first value of y equals to 3. Or for our second value of y equals to 10. Yes, at this point you should know what's inspiring. Otherwise, you ask question in the comment section below. So now I've gotten the value of my y, so let's now get the value of our x. Let's get the value of x. At least you can see that the value of x is visible here. You can get x from the fourth equation. And so as we know, the fourth equation is x equals to 13 minus y. So we want to use the first value of y first. So and on the first equation, we have x equals 13 minus y. So our x becomes, the first value of x becomes x equals to 13 minus the first value of our y is 3. And our first value of x becomes 10. So therefore, our first value of x equals to 10, while the first value of y becomes equals to 3. Now also, let's look at when the second value of our y is 10, as we got. So then the second value of our x becomes 13 minus y. Second value of y, so we have second value of x is equals to 13 minus the second value of y is 10, and we have x sub 2 to be equals to 13 minus 10 is 3. So therefore the second value of our x is 3 whenever the second value of y happens to be 10. So at this juncture we've gotten the required values, so compute them this way. Now remember, from our initial question, we are asked to find the square root of 13 plus 2 with 30, which we said that the square root of 13 with 30 is the square root of x plus the square root of y. Yes, so which we said is the square root of x plus the square root y. So this my second y here, the second value here. Sorry, this is the first value of x, first value of y. So therefore, our final answer becomes that this is actually the square root of 10 plus, for the first value of so we have 3 here, or for the second value of x we have 3 here, plus for the second value of y we have 10. So whichever matches your answer,